Just so you know, hot mic. This one's hot. I wanted room noise. Keep people so they know their sound. Sometimes they drop off.
Well, they think it's frozen.
Finally, Morgan's looking at my back. A boy can have a threesome.
Kind of figured that.
Just like the third round, I was like, well, win or lose, we're not talking to that guy tonight.
Yeah. After Robbie.
Yeah, because he's been sitting back there all night.
Just when I was back there, I kept thinking, I lose.
Robbie, congratulations. Of course, you've had big victories throughout your career, but all week long, this felt like a special fight. A big moment in the sport. So, what does this victory mean to you? How are you feeling right now?
I feel good. My camp at Sanford MMA did a great job getting me ready for this fight. Jason Jackson pushed me and imitated to a T, so I was ready to go. I was in shape, and I felt good.
That's awesome. The speed obviously was clearly a difference earlier. Were you expecting to have that type of advantage? I mean, we hadn't seen him fight, right? So did that play out the difference in speed as you expected, or was it a little surprising?
No, I thought I'd be a little faster. I've been working on my skills. I had 10 weeks to get ready for them. I didn't gain a whole bunch of weight. As soon as I knew, it's not like I started eating junk food. I kept it pretty similar weight-wise. I probably weighed about 183 in the ring, and just kept. I knew I was in shape, so I was gonna press the pace. And he likes to fight on the inside and close, and so do I. So he obliged, and we put on a nice show for the fans.
Definitely was. You mentioned the pace. It was pretty crazy, especially considering that you guys were scheduled for 5 rounds, right? So, I mean, was there any part, I know you said you were in shape, but as this thing's playing out, are you like, we got to slow down a little bit here?
No, I was just going to keep going. I think my corner and Lentz was like, man, you're freaking going at a pace. But as soon as I went out there, I was like huffing and puffing in between rounds. But as soon as we went out there, like I was feeling good and just letting them fly. And Nick was doing a good job mixing it up, and it was a fun fight.
Yeah, no doubt, very fun. Ending sequence was a little unique, right? It's not something we'd expect to see. Did you know that you had hurt him bad, and did you realize kind of what was happening at that point?
I felt like it was an accumulation, but I think I caught him with like a little check hook, and then caught him with a left after that, and then when he went down, I hit him with an uppercut. But I think he wanted me to follow him down, and I was like, let's continue the freaking fun stuff.
Is there any disappointment that it ended that way? I mean, or is it, happy that you kind of made him quit, basically?
No, it's he's a warrior. I mean, that was a rough fight. He was standing right there in the pocket. I throw hard shots, and he was taking them, and it was a lot of damage. Like when you go back and watch the fight, it was a war, a 3-round war, and I hit pretty hard, and just wasn't his night.
No doubt. Last thing for me, you said that this one got you up, this one got you motivated, excited again. So where do you go from here? I mean, are there other matchups like this that will excite you in the same way?
Yeah, I'm sure the UFC will come up with something, and talk to Dave Martin, and we'll figure it out. And Sanford MMA is going to get me ready for my fight, and I'll be ready to fight whoever.
Rob, to your left. Congratulations. I walked in a little bit late, so did he seem any slower that you remember before? Like he didn't seem to have the same snap that he maybe had, earlier in his career?
I don't really know, because it was a feeling thing. He was long, and a lot of the stuff he does, he never really had fast hands. He would use his body to kind of cover that distance, so he leans a little bit more. So it's not necessarily fast hands, it's more timing and that type of stuff. And he slaps and he does stuff. He was never really a fast puncher, so I wasn't too worried. And I was trying to smother him and try to not take too much damage out there.
And I heard you referencing the finish. He seemed like maybe his knee fell underneath him, or did you break his nose, or was it just the fact that he had had enough, do you think?
I'm not sure. I mean, it was a rough fight. Hats off to him, and I mean, I don't know what to say.
In your wildest dreams, did you ever think you'd be fighting a guy 17 years apart? I mean, that's...
No, I did not think I was going to fight him, and then 2 months ago when they offered me the fight, I was like, all right, like this fight gets me excited. I mean, but I don't think everyone expected to see me the way I was today. I think they thought they were going to see the guy who's been fighting for the last 1.5, 2 years, and that wasn't who showed up today, and I spoiled some plans.
Right here. You're now 5-0 in rematches. There's something specific that gets you, like, is it just training harder going into these rematches, knowing you spend time against these previous opponents, now you know what to expect the next time you face them?
I don't know. Sometimes it's just nice to, like, prove like that you're better than the last time you fought, and that's how I always take these fights. Like, that wasn't my best. I'm going to show you what my best is, and tonight was my night. I mean, Nick put on a hell of a performance. It was a hell of a show, and we went at it, and hats off to him. He's freaking a killer.
And I think all week we've seen the promos, the past fight. He was doing a lot of talking, and he's saying he was trying to psych you out in that fight. Did he say anything to you during the fight this time, 17 years later?
I have no idea. I couldn't hear anything. I was just going out there trying to have fun and like push the pace and get in there and make it a war.
Then finally, what did you two say to each other after the fight? I saw you like lean down to him right when the ref waved it off.
I just said thank you for bringing the best out of me, and I have a lot of respect for you, and hopefully your life is going to get together and like good things are going to happen to you. He's a hell of a guy. He's a nice guy. He's a freaking warrior, and you, in this sport and in sports in general, you want the best for your opponents and the athletes that you see around you. So I like him.
Robbie, just following on from that, Nick is obviously a fan favorite. You're obviously a big fan of Nick. Would you like to see him fight again?
That's up to Nick. That's up to the UFC. I mean, you never know what people are going through. I'm a guy on the outside looking in, and I'm not trying to freaking solve anyone's problems or freaking. I think that's for you guys to like label and figure out. I don't like let people do their thing. I'm gonna do my thing. I'm gonna go hide out at home and hang out with my kids and mind my own business.
Robbie, to your right over here. Having fought Colby Covington and seen the first fight with Usman, just curious what your thoughts are on the rematch.
It's a good fight. Colby brings it. I mean, it's Usman brings it. He's getting better, and I mean, I think the fans are excited to see it.
Any prediction?
Nope. That's not my game.
Congrats.
Sorry, Robbie. You were consistent all week, and every time you were asked, saying you're not paying attention to the other stuff. You don't care what he does. But in retrospect, like, was this a crazy week? You land, you find out it's a different weight. Like, he's doing, whatever he's doing on that side. Like, was it a weird week for you to kind of go through?
No, I knew that they were looking to do that. Like Saturday, that they were talking about doing the 185, and I was just showing up, and I couldn't really add too much weight because I had already did what I did to my body, and I had already lost 15 pounds and was on my way down. So I didn't try to add too much weight back on, just kept with kind of the same diet. But you never know what's going to happen in this sport. I can only control so much, so that's what I focused on, what I could control, which was my mind, training with my training partners and coaches, getting me ready for this fight, and I wasn't too worried about the hoopla.
Was there ever a thought that you weren't going to say yes to that?
I'm not answering that.
And I know one of the other things you said is you didn't pay attention to the stuff he was saying, but he said he didn't want this fight. He doesn't know how it even happened. Like, were you aware that he said that, and how did that make you feel?
I mean, he's hyping the fight, doing what he does, and I don't really care what anyone says. Like, I think my coaches and training partners are like, hey, look what he's saying, but I don't care. Like, I don't care what guys are saying. It does not matter to me. Like, I'm worried about myself and what I'm doing.
And just how good are you feeling right now, like having a win, being able to build up this and keep going?
I feel good. I mean, really it was the camp that I fell back on. Even though they moved it up to 185, my camp went well. My mindset was good. My body felt good. So that's why the weight issue wasn't a big deal to me, because I was ready.
And the last thing, he came out obviously, kind of an explosive move right out of the start with the spin, but then he kind of just laid back and let you hit him a couple of times. Do you think he was trying to get a feel for the fight again? Is that what he was trying to settle into?
I'm not sure what he was doing. He was probably trying to figure it out, feel, see if he could take some shots and what he could handle. And he took some good shots and gave some good shots and tried to figure it out. It just wasn't his night tonight.
Thanks, man.
Robbie, you snapped the longest losing streak of your career. How does that feel?
I don't know. It just feels like I won today, and I'm freaking excited about it. I mean, I'm excited to go home and chill, but I put together a good training camp. It's nice to get a win, and you're only as good as your last fight, right? So that's what I focus on.
And finally, you kind of alluded, like earlier, you said that the Robbie from a year ago or 2 years ago wasn't there tonight. Was it Nick Kiss who brought the Robbie Lawler, violent, ruthless Robbie Lawler out?
I think it was accumulation of stuff. I mean, my training camp, my coach, Nick Lentz, Henry Hoof, Jason Jackson, just getting me ready for the fight. But yeah, he definitely got me excited, and yeah, I mean, it was all of the above. I was ready to fight, and I was ready to prove that I'm better than what people have been seeing.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Valentina. Obviously, another flawless performance, it seemed like. How did you feel about the way things played out tonight?
Feels good. I working very hard for this fight. I didn't expect easy fight. And Lauren, she's a tough opponent. She's physically very, very strong, but I wanted to play my game. And, kind of like my ultimate goal as a martial artist to reach the level when your opponents, when they fighting each other, they looks like furious, powerful, very strong. But when they fight me, it's kind of like they cannot touch you, but you can finish them. It's kind of like what I want being as a martial artist, untouchable. This is kind of like next level of martial artist.
You feel like you accomplished that tonight?
I'm on my way.
Right. Anything that she did surprise you? Obviously, your speed was very much an advantage. You showed some great grappling as well. I mean, was there anything that happened in there that did surprise you at all?
Actually, no. I was expecting more pressure, and I truly expected more pressure. And it was kind of like first round, I was like, okay, maybe it was kind of like a trap, and she was kind of like waiting for her moment. Second round, then I was like, okay, if you don't want, I will go for it.
Right. I just wonder if it's difficult for you, because I do feel like the expectations are so high. Like I heard the crowd start to boo a little bit. It's like you have to go out there and score a highlight reel in the first round, or it's not okay. Is that a difficult expectation level for you to live up to?
No, it's not, because I understand if I gonna think about it, and it's gonna affect me during the fight, it's gonna affect my performance. And sometimes it can affect not in the best way. You're gonna rush to do something, and this is a mistake. So I learned that I cannot just follow with a boo from the crowd. I have to do my thing, because potentially the finish gonna come. They just have to wait.
Obviously, as a champion, you don't have to make matchups, right? They have to come to you. But are there names that you want to fight? Like, are there things? I know you're looking about bettering yourself as a martial artist, but are there opponents that you want to face moving forward?
I'm ready to fight anyone. And flyweight divisions, there are so many strong fighters. I didn't know how the fight gonna be against Jessica Andrade, Cynthia Calvillo. If Cynthia was kind of like top level, but Jessica just smashed her. So I don't know what's gonna next. Who's the next opponent? But I can say that in flyweight division there is every time more and more names coming up. So I'm ready to fight all of them.
Nice. And I guess last thing for me, we'll find out the name, but how about when do you think you want to fight again? Are you taking the rest of this year off, or I mean, what's the plan for you moving forward?
I'm pretty healthy. I just have small things that after the fight, during the training camp, and it's gonna be fixed like very quickly, easy. So right now, what is next for me? It's next Saturday fight of my sister. So she is coming in her fight week, and I will be in her corner supporting her. So she gonna do all the same, and yeah, I don't know what's when it's like next, because I'm ready to fight tomorrow. But what UFC have for me, it's different.
Valentina right here. Valentina, when you obviously train so that the fight is easy. You've talked about that before. But when you're out there in the cage and you're performing at this level, do you feel a higher level of focus? Do you feel something special when you're out there and you are at the top of your game?
You cannot feel. You feel something, but you cannot fall in this feeling, because once you are starting like the side things started affect you, and you start to like pay more attention, for example, to the crowd, to some details, to the person who's sitting like over there, and it's kind of like you losing perspective of the fight, and you can lose your moment to win the fight, to finish the fight, or like whatever. That's why when you are there inside of the octagon, you don't have right to think about something else, about your performance, about like how your opponent feel. You have just work. You have to work and toward your victory. After the job is done, now you can realize what it was, how it was, what you felt or something like that. But during that moment, you don't have a right to think about it.
When you go back and watch your fights, what do you look at? Like when you see a performance like tonight or like your performance against Jessica Andrade, do you see a lot of the things that you want to improve? Do you ever impress yourself with what you were able to do? What do you see?
Every time. There is, for martial artists, there is no time to stop and think, oh, I'm the greatest one. I'm the best one. If you're retired, you can say that. But if you're active fighter, you don't have choice only to develop yourself, like to be better every single day. Even if you're good, you can even add something more into your game and be better. So I think as a martial artist, everyone had to have this mindset.
You obviously grew up Kyrgyzstan. You represent Latin America. They put you on the broadcast. Tu español, perfecto. ¿Representas uno? Do you represent one over the other? Because obviously you live so many places and you represent so many when you do all these public appearances on TV and everything.
Every single country where I live, when I travel, it takes special place in my heart. In Peru, in Latin America, I lived for 8 years, and definitely the culture is very close to me. I grew up in Kyrgyzstan, very beautiful mountain country, and very deep in traditions. And I respect all countries traditions, the culture, people, and I just want to experience more from my travel, to know, not just come there and take a picture and say, okay, I've been in this country, that's okay, but I want to really know how it's like there, what people think and how they live, what they eat, and I think this is the best school of life.
Over here, Valentina. In the third round, when you threw that head kick and you almost hit her like you hit Jessica, it seemed like right then and there you kind of knew I can get her out of there. Was that the moment when you kind of push the button on the gas pedal?
It was kind of what round it was? Third? Fourth round? What round?
Huh?
What round the
Third
kick
round.
was?
Third
Third
round when you
round.
did the head kick.
It's kind of was this point when I started to accelerate a little bit. And I knew it's kind of third, fourth, fifth. It's kind of when you're starting to put more speed and more pressure. And definitely it would be very good to finish the fight like that with another head kick KO, but it didn't happen that time, and instead it was a hook, right hook, that was kind of leaded to the finish of the fight.
I know you cleaning out the division and everything at 125. Would you ever go back to 135 to get two belts at two different weight classes, regardless if Amanda's there or whatever? Is that something that you want to do before you get out, or you're 125 forever? You're just going to line them up and knock them down?
You know, many people, they started in one weight class and then kind of oh, I want to explore what is there, what is here. And in my experience, it was different because I didn't have a choice to fight in my own weight class. And I had to fight 135 with the bigger girls who cut in their weight from 160 pounds, 150 pounds, and my walk weight is 135. So I just cut 10 pounds for 125, it's nothing. And 125 flyweight, it's my natural weight class. I feel powerful. I feel that my speed on point as the best. It's just my weight class, and I am happy that I don't have to. I just can think about my performance the best way what I can do, because I fought so many times in 135, and now I have choice when I can fight and do amazing thing in my real weight class. Why I don't have to do that? But also I open for any opportunity that, for example, UFC tomorrow will call and say, okay, Valentina, we have this fight. Would you accept? I'm open for anything.
Do you want that trilogy? You said your eyes lit up when you thought about that.
I'm open for it. I never was choosing my opponents. I'm not the person who, okay, this name looks good to me, I will fight her. No, this name's kind of like not good, I'm not fighting her. No, they have a name for me, I accept the fight because I want to fight with the best ones in the world. This is how you prove that you are the best, right? And if like destiny wants to make it happen, I'm here, right now, here.
That leads me to another question. When you see these chicks here in fight week or around, can you tell if they really on your level? Because it seems like you have them mentally defeated before they get in there because they need their personal best just to compete with you. How does it feel to have that, I won't say power, but it seems like you kind of know midway through fight week you click. It's like, I would say when we had the press conference on Thursday, it clicked. And you're like, oh, I got her. I can tell by your body language. Is that pretty accurate?
I cannot say that it's... they are not coming already broken for the fight. When it's starting, the break, it's starting when their strategy for the fight doesn't work. If they have okay, I was thinking that I can do that, and they starting to realize it's not happening, and I play my game. They wanted to play their game, but it's not happening. I just play my game, and this is when it starts, the breakage. So it's not before the fight, it's during the fight, in the first seconds of the fight.
And final question for me, are you pound for pound the best women fighter in the world, in your opinion?
And what is your opinion?
Hey, you're greatness to me. Hey, they put a gold jacket on you. You got the Hall of Fame. They'll sign you up in the future.
You answered your question.
Valentina, to your right over here. With this win, it's your sixth title defense, and with that, you join Amanda Nunes and Ronda Rousey as the only three women to have gotten that many title defenses. Is that special for you?
For me, what is special for me, to discover how far can I go, to discover what is my limit as a human, what is my limit as a martial artist. I don't want to put numbers goals. This is what I want, 10-time defense, 12-time defense. I will finish my career at certain age. So when you put the number in front of you, you kind of starting to walk towards the end, because once you reach it, what's next? You will have to find some more numbers, right? But as a martial artist, I want to discover what is my limit exactly, because I don't want to work toward my end. I'm right at the in the beginning of my way, and I want to see what is there, what is waiting for me. And I just very love the lifestyle what I have, training hard, competing, to feel this insane energy from the fans after the fight, in the fight. It's just martial arts giving so much to me. So I never will be so deeply grateful. I'm really so grateful to martial arts, because I'm the person what I am right now because of martial arts.
Very well said. And you mentioned your sister's fight coming up. I'm just curious, what are your thoughts on her opponent, Casey O'Neill, a young flyweight coming up herself? What do you think about her?
Oh, she's good, she's young, she's hungry, but my sister, she's different level, and she's trained very hard for this fight, and she will put in the great performance, because I saw her training. I was in her training camp, and she's in amazing shape right now, so she gonna do everything right, and she gonna go to the victory as well.
And I'm curious, do you have any next travel plans lined up, and what the next spot's going to be?
I was mentioning that I was starting my training camp living on the boat and traveling in Puget Sound, Washington State. And kind of when we get notice about the fight, we had to come back to Las Vegas, because it was time already to have the second hard part, already trainings. So I really want to go and explore more of Puget Sound, because it's amazing, beautiful place. And yeah, definitely boating. It's my goal to reach next level of boating, next sail maybe. So yeah, I will go towards that.
Valentina, aquí en español, por favor, felicidades por tu victoria Son 6 defensas del título. ¿Tú te sientes invencible?
Yo me siento que tengo que trabajar más, siempre, más que todos. Para ser invencible, tú tienes que trabajar más duro que todo el mundo. No importa si eres campeona o no, para seguir estar en el lugar donde estás, tú no puedes relajar y pensar, oh, soy invencible, nadie puede tocarme. Porque en segundo, cuando lo piensas, tú puedes perder todo. Y esta es la idea que no me deja descansar, no descansar como pensar que soy invencible, ¿cierto? Pero esto es que me siempre motiva a entrenar más y más duro. Y también mi equipo, mi entrenador, maestro Pavel, él tiene misma vista para cómo un deportista tiene que entrenar. Siempre adelante, siempre desarrollarse como la persona y como artista marcial.
Tú se lo dedicaste a la gente de América Latina. ¿Tú sientes que cada día, a pesar de que eres de Kirguistán, de Bielorrusia, pero acabas de decir que viviste en Perú 8 años, ¿tú sientes que el fanático latinoamericano te apoya cada día más?
Claro que sí, porque para mí América Latina siempre va a tener un espacio en mi corazón muy especial, porque cuando nosotros vivimos 8 años en Latinoamérica, nosotros viajamos en diferentes países y cultura de Latinoamérica me encanta, muy abierta la gente, la comida siempre es perfecta. Y nosotros viajamos, estuvimos en Perú, viajamos a Brasil, Argentina, a Paraguay, Uruguay, también estuvimos muchas veces en México, tenemos muy buenos amigos en México y claro que me encanta la cultura del idioma, porque yo creo que español es un idioma muy, muy bonita.
Y ya lo último, поздравляю тебя с победой.
Спасибо большое.
Valentina, right here. On your walk back to the locker room, you made a detour to the ring girls. They seemed surprised, as many of us were. What was that all about?
Beautiful women is a decoration of any event, and I want people to know that. And no one have right to say that they are useless, because they are on the place where they have to be. They were here at the beginning, and it's like no matter. You will come in any event, you will see beautiful women. And you, as a man, like everyone, enjoy it. It's kind of like beautiful, right? And this is decoration. That's why this is my message, that beautiful woman, it's a decoration of any event.
Many of us felt very blessed to get to be there tonight for this entire fight card and to watch you perform as well. You seem to derive joy from every aspect of the evening, on the walk back to the ring girls, to taking selfies with the fans, in the entire process, because we've heard from so many fighters recently that don't like to fight. George St. Pierre said during the Hall of Fame he never wanted to actually fight. We heard what Nick said. What do you derive the most joy from the beginning of training camp to walking back there and getting back to the locker room?
Entire process. You cannot just like say, okay, it's the best moment when your hands raised up and you are feeling that like, oh yes, you did what you. Of course, it feels so amazing. It's so powerful, the feeling. But you know, actually, it's like the entire process. Hard trainings, day by day. Every time you are waking up, and you know you have to push yourself to your limits. But you know you have to do it for the best performance. And every day you kind of like learning something else. You are learning more as a martial artist. For example, you know, also I think the idea to be in martial arts for a long time, it all depends how you can manage your fight and your rest. And for example, my team, my coach Pavel, and he has like the perfect kind of like combination where we train, then we travel, you can rest, you can train in the travel, but it's not the same type when you are training, like in the training camp. And in my example, you can see exactly how it can work. 28 years in martial arts. Now my opponents, some of them, they have like 23 years old or so 22. So even like doesn't have that age as I do martial arts. So it tells that the age, it's not a like issue. It's not something that puts you the limit. It's your limit. It's in your head. And if you don't put any limits for you, you just go and explore how far you can go. This is what I do day by day, exploring.
Valentina, felicidades con el triunfo. Has podido llegar a lo más alto de tu categoría, de tu carrera. ¿Cuáles eran las metas que tenías cuando inició tu carrera en el UFC? ¿Y has podido alcanzarlas o todavía te quedan cosas para...?
Claro que sí, la meta principal desde inicio era para mí ser la campeona de UFC, porque UFC es la organización de MMA más grande de todo el mundo. Y yo creo que en general, como el deporte, como artes marcial, MMA es deporte número 1 en todo el mundo. No es boxeo, no es algo diferente, es MMA. Y claro que ser parte de UFC es un privilegio también para cada deportista. Y mi meta principal era ser la campeona de UFC. Yo lo alcancé y ahora quiero mantenerlo más... no sé por cuánto, no sé, solamente quiero seguir ganando y hacer mi trabajo bien como puedo.
Muy bien, y finalmente, ¿cuál es tu rutina con tu familia, con tu hermana, con tu equipo? ¿Qué tienes para celebrar? ¿Qué haces cuando no estamos contigo? ¿Vas a un club, discoteca, cierta comida? ¿Qué es lo que te hace sonreír ya que tienes todo en alto?
No soy la persona de discotecas, no. No tengo fiestas, no me encanta, no me gusta porque no es mi estilo. Soy persona de naturaleza, me gusta mucho cocinar y siempre nosotros cuando, por ejemplo, con amigos, nosotros cocinamos en la casa y me gusta disfrutar el proceso. No solamente cuando te sirven la comida, tú ya comes y vas, no. Cuando tú disfrutas de todo el proceso. Y no sé, me parece que es lo mejor porque tú puedes conversar con tus amigos, de verdad conocerlos y no solamente para venir y decir hola, hola, ¿cómo estás? Y ya te vas.
De acuerdo, pues felicidades, muchas gracias por todo y que viva Shevchenko.
Gracias.
Is it true that there's a rumor that when you retire, you're going to work as an interpreter at the United Nations?
Who told that? I didn't hear it yet.
No, you speak beautifully, though. So how many languages do you speak?
I speak English, Russian, Spanish, and I'm learning Thai.
Well, you're doing an excellent job. You speak almost as well as you fight.
Yes, I very like the learning languages because I think that this perspective, if you know how to speak with like local people, it's kind of like you can explore, you can understand the traditions, the culture of the country. It's not kind of like, as I mentioned before, come in and take picture and like go. It's kind of like tourist. I don't like to be a tourist. I like to be a person who live in the country. And if I, for example, Thailand for me have every time like special place in my heart. I have how many, like 12 world championship only in Muay Thai, and like plus mixed martial arts and kickboxing K1, it's all together 17 times world champion. So, but Muay Thai, it's every time have like a very special place for me. That's why I want to learn language, to understand the people more, understand their tradition, understand their culture, understand how to cook their food, and just to speak with people.
Valentina.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Everyone asked you if you're going to move up to 135. Is it possible for you to go down to strawweight?
Mm. It means like to starve, not have good food, not enjoy the food, and I could do that, but it's like I don't enjoy the process. I find myself the best shape 125. I know a lot of straw weights, they have like 135 and go down to 115, but I feel 125 is the perfect weight class for me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hola Valentina, primero que nada, felicidades en otra gran victoria. Te quería preguntar, cuando tú no estás peleando, ¿tú ves UFC, boxeo? ¿Te gusta ver este deporte? ¿O cuando estás afuera no peleando, te gusta hacer otras cosas?
Me gusta ver peleas, me gusta ver UFC, claro que sí, siempre lo veo. Y también me gusta hacer otras cosas.
¿Quiénes son algunas de las personas que te gustan ver cuando tú no estás peleando? ¿Quién tú sigues y quién tú seguías cuando estabas subiendo? ¿Quién te gustaba mirar?
De verdad, nunca no tenía una persona que estoy, o si está peleando, yo voy a ver las peleas. Es que siempre a mí me gusta ver la técnica, porque no importa, tienes un nombre grande o todavía no grande, puedes mostrar algo diferente. Y para estar en un nivel que siempre tú tienes que observar nuevas técnicas, algunas estrategias nuevas, tú tienes que mirar las peleas. Y yo cuando veo las peleas, yo lo veo especialmente de este lado, no solamente estar como un fan, pero como un profesional que tiene que estar al día con la técnica moderna.
Okay. Y creo que normalmente tú haces tu baile cuando ya te han dicho que has ganado, pero esta vez como que lo hiciste rápidamente. ¿Fue por alguna razón que no esperaste como normalmente lo haces?
Tú sabes, yo cuando mi tradición de hacer este baile, eso viene de mis peleas de Muay Thai. Y cuando peleé en Muay Thai, yo siempre salía con este baile, con la música y bailando al ring. Pero en MMA nosotros decidimos cambiar para celebrar la victoria, y como esta pelea, la victoria ya estaba como TKO, technical knockout, entonces no hay dudas, por eso ya...
Entiendo. Y mi última pregunta, obviamente tú estás peleando muy bien, sin duda alguna puedes pelear por mucho tiempo, pero ¿tienes en mente más o menos cuánto tiempo tú crees que vas a estar en el deporte? ¿Y qué son algunas de las cosas que tú piensas que te gustarían hacer después que termines con tu carrera?
Esa es la pregunta que hace unos minutos he respondido. Cuando tú pones la meta así, tú pones la edad así, y ya voy a pelear hasta esta edad, entonces tú pones como un límite para tú mismo como peleadora, como persona. Y si tú pones un límite, esto significa tú empiezas a trabajar hasta tu final. Y yo no quiero trabajar a mi final, yo quiero desarrollarme como peleadora. Yo quiero ver hasta dónde puedo llegar, hasta dónde es el límite, porque cómo tú puedes de verdad ver en qué mi cuerpo está capaz, qué puede hacer. Entonces no hay datos, no hay cuándo, no hay dónde, solamente vivir mi vida que yo vivo y hacer lo que me encanta hacer.
Gracias, Valentina.
Gracias. Thank you. Thank you.
Winner's piss is always.
Nah, we'll just go.
Let's go. It's obviously an unbelievable fight, you know, and to have a classic fight like that and still win basically every round on every card, I mean, pretty special accomplishment. So talk to me how you're feeling after a fight like that.
Yeah, man, you know, I wanted to. I've been talking about getting that finished, but at least it was a war. At least it was entertainment. Everyone enjoyed it. You know, obviously, while you're going through it, you're just worrying about what's happening. So straight after, I was like, fuck, didn't get the finish, you know what I mean? But then you come out and everyone's just absolutely buzzing. So as long as we put on a performance, hey, you know, I'm starting to really come into this whole entertainment business. You know, I get it. So you're going to see me being the heel from now on. I'm just going to fucking have a go at everyone. No, I'm joking. No, but you know what I mean? It's just, hey, it was a good fight, fun fight. Everyone enjoyed it, so I'm happy.
Yeah, started out with a real
50 G's too, so you can't argue with that.
Not bad there. Started out with a real boxing heavy attack. I mean, was that the game plan going in, to stick with largely the boxing as much as possible?
Yeah, you obviously mix it all up. You know, really just try and put a puzzle in front of him. You know, find out the range early, which we did. Probably could have, you know, mixed the kicks in a little bit more and things like that. But you know, it was just you know, it was a good fight. He had me in you know, some deep positions as well. It was a lot happening in there, and I've got to watch it back. But everyone's blowing out about it, so. Hey, I don't know yet, so I'll watch it back and see how good this fight was. But you know, I'm just happy that I got the 50 G's, got the win, got the belt, bringing it back to Australia on the piss. We're laughing.
I think you'll be pleased when you watch it back. I did want to ask you, obviously the damage on his face was clear that you did to him, but you suffered a little under your eyes as well. Was that bothering you at all?
Yeah, no, I just had a couple of cuts. One might have been a headbutt. I think there was an elbow on the top of the head. And there must have been a punch with the other one. But mate, look, man, he's tough, you know what I mean? I was giving it to him, trying to get in his head. You know, I said some things, you know, I don't usually say that type of stuff, but obviously he's like everyone knows, you know, with things I brought up, I wasn't going to do it, heat of the moment, weight cutting, and me being the heel now, you know what I mean? Just, man, it was nothing but respect now. He got my respect. I thought I was going to break him. I thought he was broken after the third round. The ref decided to give him a minute to, you know, ask him questions. He wasn't answering them right. I'm telling you, I was looking, and he was, you know, look this way, and he's looking completely other way, and do this, do that, do that. Answered every question wrong, and then they waited till he answered it right, and then let's get into it. So I was like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? Like, that gave him an extra minute because I thought he was broke. I was like, right, well, man, like, he literally couldn't even see where he was going. That's it. That's it. It's over. I go in there, start putting pressure, and he's firing back just like he was. Like nothing happened. So, mate, he's tough. You know, he's durable, and credit to him.
You know, you got yourself into a little bit of trouble at one point, right? The guillotine choke. I mean, can you talk about just how tight? Because it looked incredibly tight.
It was deep.
Yeah.
It was deep. It was. Oh, fuck! I'm about to lose the belt deep. You know what I mean? Like it was. But again, like the type of human being I am, you know, we talk about me, you know, going through adversity and, you know, always being prepared and busting my ass and never give up attitude and all that shit. That's just exactly what you're seeing. I was deep. That was as deep as it can get. No shit. As deep as it can get. I remember I was making fucking weird noises. I remember I was sitting, I was like going, I don't know what noise I made, but I remember he even said I was gurgling, but that was like a weird, oh fuck, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm about to lose this belt, like, you're kidding. And then I like obviously kept fighting and just opened a little bit of space. I'm like, all right, I'm good. And then got my chin out, and then it was all good. And then I knew I'd be up from there. And then he chucked me in the fucking triangle as well. So, mate, it just shows, you know, T-City, he's known for his jiu-jitsu. I thought that he wouldn't get me that deep, but he did, credit to him. He made me really dig deep to get out of there. But, again, I've showed time and time again that, you know, I always dig deep, and, you know, that's just what champions are made of.
I have to ask, because surprisingly, I think you continued to grapple after that at times. But did your corner have a conversation with you? Like,
man,
what are you doing here?
No, because, you know, that was, how did that happen? I'm trying to think how that exactly happened. Oh, yeah, because I think, I went to kick, he grabbed the kick and then punched at the same time. So when I fell down, as I was getting up, he jumped on it and got into that position. But he done a good job of really wrapping up the legs. You know what I mean? I didn't expect him to wrap up the legs so quickly. So then he had control of me while he had it deep. Where I didn't expect to be there. So when I'm up, posturing up and all that type of stuff. He's throwing them up, but it gives me space. I wasn't too threatened there. The boys were telling me to more posture up, stand up. I thought they meant get the fuck out of there, which I don't blame them for saying that if they did. But they wanted me to posture up and just keep raining bombs. But, mate, I almost had him in the last, I was hitting him with big shots. It looked like he was done, but he come back stronger. So, again, I'm just going to give him credit.
Awesome. Last thing for me, I know you said you're comfortable being the heel now, you're comfortable being the underdog, but I think you will walk away from...
I'll always be respectful, but, there's going to be some things that might need to be said sometimes, so I'll say it.
Well, I think you're going to have a newfound respect after this fight. It certainly seemed that way tonight. So, give us an idea. What's the plan for now? Because obviously, this whole travel to Australia, the way things are. What do you see as the next couple moves for you? Because you've beaten the big names in the division, obviously.
Well, we got the Yair and Max fighting. So I'm guessing that's for number one contender. Whoever wins that gets that shot, right? And that's not till November. And I want to fight. Man. So do I move up lightweight? Do something, you know what I mean? Maybe move up lightweight, fight the champion, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Give me something because, again, I had, 14 months off because of this whole, you know what I mean? I'm thinking of even, maybe staying, bring the family over and stay here for a year, ride out this fucking lockdown thing because it's a mess, and that's why I said this fight was for everyone back home that are struggling. They're going through tough times in New Zealand and Australia. So, again, so that's why we're got to, talk to the family, talk to the team and see what's our best move. Maybe we ride it out here, knock out, just smash some fights out. Everyone just build everything up and kick some ass.
Alex, to your left here, to your left over here.
Oh, yep.
First thing I wanted to ask you about is, 20 wins in a row, and not a lot of people are talking about that in light of everything that went on. What was the hardest thing about that, and what does it mean to you to get to that specific number?
It sounds cool, numbers there. You hear the numbers like that. That's pretty cool. I don't pay too much attention to it. I just worry about the challenges that are in front of me. Taking out guys like Chad Mendes, Aldo, Max Holloway, Ortega. Doing that. That's more incredible to me. Having a 25 win streak is impressive. But not many people can do that. But I'm expecting to just keep that streak rolling. So 20 is good, but let's get to 30 or something. So we'll start talking about that when I hit a few more numbers.
Put Habib in the rearview mirror, huh?
Yeah, that's it.
When you beat Aldo and Holloway twice, and yet, not that you weren't getting respect, but there were other guys that were, people were talking about, Holloway might have won the second fight or whatever. So do you feel like, you changed that narrative tonight by doing, not only winning the fight, but getting out of the 2 submissions and showing how tough you were in that fight? Do you think you changed the narrative about you now to a more positive one?
Oh, man, mate, it was entertaining. So even if they are going to keep carrying on about it, whatever. Like I said it, there's going to be doubters no matter what you do. You know what I mean? People are going to sit there and be like, oh, he almost got submitted. He's going to get submitted again. I don't think anyone's going to put me in a deeper fucking submission than that. So I ain't worried about that. No one's going to get me in any positions. And if they do, I don't think, anyone's going to put me in more trouble than that. So, again, there's going to be doubters every time. Let them hate. Let them carry on. I love it. I still love you. You just give me that drive. So, man, all good. I say time and time again, that underdog mentality. You know what I mean? What I know now is not enough. It's never enough. What I'm doing is not enough. We're going to do more. You know what I mean? You're not good enough. Obviously I know I'm better than these fighters, but hey, I'm just going to keep telling myself, you need to do more. You need to do more. So let the doubters say, I love proving wrong. You know what? I love making people that bet on me money. So because all my supporters, I know they're betting on me and they're winning some money. So we all good.
And the final thing for me, is there another level that you can get to? What you're doing is amazing, obviously, but you're talking about working and trying to improve. Can you still get to another level in this sport?
Oh, 100%. 100%. My composure in there was good. I've always been composed. I put the pace on. I was very, very comfortable in there. I was very comfortable even with... getting in his face, doing the whole hype up thing and all that type of stuff. It gave me a whole new energy. Absolutely loved it. People, the crowd booing me, all that shit. Fucking loved it. Absolutely loved it and just used it as fuel. So, I think this is going to change me from here on out. You know what I mean? You're going to see a whole different... Bold Volk is coming for fucking everyone.
Alex, right here in the front.
Where were you?
I'm curious, did you happen to see Conor McGregor's tweets about your fight?
Well, I heard about it. He sounds like he's on the piss.
Yeah. So do you want
Good
me?
on him.
Do you want me to read
So
it?
am I. I will be too.
Do you want me to read it to you?
No, yeah, something about sharding or farting or
We
something.
also said congrats.
Doesn't really make sense, but hey.
You also said congrats at the end of the fight, so we seem to enjoy it.
Yeah. It's Connor, man. Like, you know, we're kind of doing Connor things. Good on him. But, yeah, I don't know if it's like, you know, if he wants to come back down to 145. Well, obviously, that will never happen, but...
We think it's right around the broadcast. They said you had beaten the 2 best featherweights of all time. And
okay.
Connor and, Jose and Max.
Yeah, that
Seem
would have
to
stung
take
him a
issue
little
with that.
bit.
Yeah.
That would have stung him a little bit, especially while he's on the piss, you know. So, you know, anyway, I'm going to be on the piss. Maybe you'll see some weird fucking tweets from me too. We'll see what happens.
And what do you make of that fight between Max and Yair? A lot of people just thought Max was going to be next in line. He didn't have to take another fight. And now
Yeah, man, you know what? That just shows you, again, like I'm going to give credit to, you know, Ortega. There was bad blood. I was fucking saying all this shit. And look what he went and done. You know, he showed pure heart, put me in fucking dangerous positions. Nothing but respect. Max, he can get I guarantee he doesn't have to take this fight. And they're already asking him to give, and he's still going to go take it. He wants that number 1 spot. He wants to earn it. It shows you what type of guy he is. So how can you not respect that? Good on him. You know what I mean? That's exactly what I'd fucking do. You know what I mean? You know, so you got to give him respect. You know what I mean? But yeah, I'll give him respect. But you know, let him go do the thing. How do I think that fight's going to go? Yair Rodriguez he's a great fighter. Stylistically, I think Max is a nightmare for him. So I'm expecting Max to go out there, do his thing, and we're going to be running that trilogy. And Dana's going to pay us good money for it. So, you know, I'm just looking forward to seeing it. But, man, I just want these challenges, man, these big fights, and that's going to be a huge fucking fight. So, whoever it is, let's do it. If it's, you know, they're not fighting until later, and if I have to move up just to get a fight while we're waiting for that, because, again, I want to fight regularly. I don't want to wait another fucking 6-7 months. So, excuse my language. I'm swearing a lot today. But, yeah, so we'll just see what happens.
You said you would move up to get another fight?
Yeah, move up. You know, go up the lightweight, have a bit of fun there. And then just wait for the winner, and then we run that back, run that whoever that is with.
In terms of going on the piss, do you always start your day off with one from a flip flop? Because I saw you drinking a beer.
From the flip flop from I call them a vlečki. That's a Macedonian way of calling a vlečki, a slide. So I did. Yeah, I've never really done one of those before, but I fucking nailed it. I only got a couple of little drops out. I've pretty much got it all in there. Usually people get all over them. I'm a master. See, I'm a master at everything.
It's just fantastic. In the fight, you know, you mentioned about the guillotine and how that was, oh fuck, I'm nearly going to lose the belt deep. Was the triangle as deep, or was that a little bit loose?
No, the triangle wasn't too bad. It was obviously deep, but I felt like, you know, I could, you know, I'm strong enough to sort of put him in positions to not get it as tight, and I knew I'd get out of that. But that guillotine was fucking deep.
You mentioned before the fight, like he said, oh, I feel like in another time we could be good, decent acquaintances and we could have a beer and stuff. And you weren't super hot on that idea, but after...
I said if I was drunk, I would. And I'm almost there. So maybe, you know... Nah, look, man, you know, I did you know, again, look, they're building up the fight. You know, I think I never usually try and, you know, do that type of shit. So I was picking at everything. Obviously, everyone knows I'm against the shit that I bring up. I wasn't going to bring it up, I'll be honest. I'm not the type. I was like, you know, I didn't want to do it. Weight cutting, pissed off. I bring it up. You know, again, I'm against that. But, you know, it was a long time ago. And, you know, I hope he's changed. But yeah, so, again, we were pretty cool. Obviously, there are things that annoy me, but I'm looking for these things to annoy me. And that's where I was at. I was looking for things to hate him, you know what I mean? And to be honest, after the fight and what we shared in that octagon, yeah, I think we can be some acquaintances. So we'll see.
Last one from me. You said that you're nearly pissed. How many beers does it take to get you to the level you want to be?
Fucking after punching on for 25 minutes, only a few by the looks of it. So yeah, I've had it like this is my fourth. It's probably a third, but I'll say 4 just to sound. I don't know. Yeah, mate, I think 4, 3 or 4. We're down them pretty quick, I guess.
Good stuff. Congrats.
Thank you.
Alex, to your right, over here. Alex.
Who?
Alex, right here.
Yep.
Does it bother you the fact that you didn't beat these big guys, Max, Jose? These supposed to be the greatest of the division, but they'll talk about you being the greatest division, and you didn't beat these guys. Does that bother you?
Wait, say that again, sorry?
The fact that you beat these guys that are considered the best of all
Yeah.
time in the division, but nobody's considered you the best of all
Oh,
time.
mate, there's people, I guarantee you there's people out there that are there to throw my name out there, you know what I mean? But again, you're going to, especially Max and some of these guys, these are, they've had a lot of time to really build themselves up, get a big fan base and all that. So, mate, it wasn't that long ago when you seen Max in this exact same position. No one giving him the respect he deserved when he was kicking everyone's ass. How long was his winning streak before he even got a title shot? All that bullshit, you know what I mean? So it does happen. I was just going through that process. That's going to change, and I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. But again, man, you take out guys like Max Holloway twice, Aldo, Chad Mendes, Ortega, you can't not throw my name around there. So I guarantee you my name's out there. But again, you've got to give the guys like Aldo, champion for so long. There's going to be days when you're not on. This is a fucking crazy sport. Man, I'm swearing a lot. So you're going to be, you're going to be injured. Some days you're just not going to turn up. And to stay champion for that long, that's why I still say he's the GOAT. But I'm not far off.
After you got out the choke, it seemed like you got an extra fuel to your fire because you basically put him in deep waters and you drowned him. Would that be safe to say that?
Well, yeah, I knew he would have burnt some energy there, and for me to get out of that, and I was like, there's no way it can get any fucking deeper than that. So I'm like, let's just pour it on, you know what I mean? So I just went AWOL, and I heard the ref like he was ready to stop it, and we got close. The buzzer went, he didn't get up. The ref could have stopped that fight, and especially the doctors.
I know your job is to fight with people's ass, but when you see something like that, do you think he needs to get up and get on the stool himself, or not? He got helped up by his whole damn team.
That happened? Well, you're not allowed. I didn't know about that.
Well,
that's it. I'm about to fucking. No, I'm joking. I didn't know about that. But yeah, well, that's not allowed. You literally can't touch them.
Yeah.
That's considered a TKO. I'm a claim it.
And
Dana,
for
somebody
to come to the sport, I saw you fight. I can tell you're a hell of a fighter. Hats to you. I see you in person. I see why you're the real deal. But going on the show, do you think that helped build up your brand? We got to see your personality and see all that. The whole world got to see that. Do you think and looking back on it, that was a great decision for you, or that's just entertainment? It's separate from fighting.
Yeah, man. The whole thing you just didn't get to see nowhere near enough. You know what I mean? It just meant put a camera in front of me and people are gonna like me. You know what I mean? It's just. Again, I'm not the type of guy that's gonna, I'm not gonna do smash dollies through fucking windows and carry on and all that. So, I'm not gonna do all that type of bullshit. You know what I mean? But again, you put a camera in front of my face, people are gonna like me because I'm a pretty chill dude. I'm a fun dude. But again, I'm not gonna go out of my way. But I tell you, I really enjoyed this whole process, fight week, the whole thing about it. Even building the fight up and all that type of stuff. I'm not usually the type to do that. No, I'm the type of guy. Someone asks me a question, I'm just gonna answer the fucking thing. A lot of people, they got these narratives they want to push and all that, and I'm just, I'm not like that. I'm chill. You ask me how I'm going, I'm going to sound fucking good. A lot of people going, yeah, and they've got a question ready, I'm not like that. I'm just real. I'm going to say what's on my mind, But again, put a camera in front of me, people get to know me, they're going to love me.
With all the craziness going on at 155, you said you would go up. Would you go up for a title? Do you think you could get up in the title shot? Or how do you think you would compete with them? Would the size be a big difference, or you just going to roll the dice and see what's up?
Man, everyone knows about. I'm used to the big boys. I train with bigger guys all the time. I used to be 214 pounds. I played a prop, front row for rugby league. It's the biggest position. You know what I mean? That's the big boppers. You know what I mean? That's the position that I played. And I fought at middleweight, welterweight. My only loss was at welterweight. You know what I mean? So I'm used to the big guys. But I mean, hey, like I said, I just don't want to wait 6 months or something like that. So if we could run something back. Let's do it.
Final question for me. What higher level can you get to that you haven't got to? What's the best Volkanovski that there is?
Mate.
Have we seen it?
Nah, man. Sky's the limit, mate. Keep. You know what I mean? Again, that underdog mentality. What I know now is not going to be enough in a month's time. You know what I mean? What I know now, I feel like I'm ahead of the game. But these guys, they might be where I am now. We need to evolve. We're always looking. We've got a great team behind us. They're doing a great job to always be on the top of the game, not only studying fighters, studying the best fighters out there, things, why is this guy so good at this, you know what I mean? You can always evolve. You can always broaden everything. You guys like jiu-jitsu, you got guys like Craig Jones and all that showing you shit that you're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? How good's this? You know what I mean? So you can evolve this. Mate, trust me, there's levels to this and I'm right up there, but we're going to keep going. I guarantee you. Thank you.
Alex, sorry, over here. How many beers until you would go put a dolly through a bus?
I'm usually a pretty happy drunk, to be honest. So I don't know. Not Who knows?
No,
Nah, not me. That's not my style.
You've talked a lot about the underdog mentality and maintaining that and driving you. But I mean, at some point, you're a big favorite tonight. I mean, at some point, you're not going to be an underdog to anybody. How difficult is it to kind of keep that going?
Yeah, man. Like, again, when I say that, it doesn't mean that I am the underdog. It's just that's the mentality in my head. Just purely telling myself that, you know, you're not doing enough. You know what I mean? They're doing more. You know what I mean? And I know, like, again, I know they're not doing more. No one fucking does more than me. I'm telling you. You know, but again, you know, that's what gets me up in the morning. You know, that's what, you know, makes me do what I'm doing. You know, that makes me, when you see me doing these workouts, like, how does he fucking do this? It's because I'm telling myself I need to. You know what I mean? It's just that mentality. Again, I know I'm not the underdog going into a lot of these fights, but that's what I tell myself. I tell myself that, you know, what you know now is not enough.
Is there something you have to do to maintain that when everybody keeps saying how great you are?
No, just me. Again, I'm a very level-headed guy, and that's just the type of guy I am. You know, I don't let all the shit get to my head. You know, I'm going to go home, and I'm daddy. And as I say, my kids don't give a fuck about this. You know, they're going to be like, Dad, cook me some fucking eggs. I'm like, oh, I'll cook you some eggs. No worries, you know what I mean? And that's it, I'm dad. You know what I mean? I walk the streets, I completely forget that I'm a UFC champion, so I'm just me. I'm a normal human being. That's just how I am, and I think that's what makes me be who I am. Makes me always keep working harder, you know what I mean? Just purely because that's the type of guy I am.
I know you talked a couple times about what was going on in the corner between rounds. At the second time, so it was after the fourth round.
Okay.
It sounded like you were protesting pretty loudly of like, hey, what's going on over there? Like, were you getting bothered by that?
Of course, you know what I mean? I'm known for my gas tank. I'm, you know, wanting to break him, and we're giving him a whole extra minute. You know, he's already got a minute. Then we just give him another minute. So obviously I'm going to be a little dirty about that, but hey, at least the fight kept going, and then we got to put on more of a show for the fans. So I'm all right now because I still got the belt. But obviously at the time I was like, what are you doing? Like, you know, are we all against me or what? Fuck.
And last thing, as long as we're bringing up tweets, Henry Cejudo said he's coming back.
Fuck Henry Cejudo.
Take out Alexander the Average in response to him.
What did he say?
He's coming back to take out Alexander the Average.
No, mate, he's called out everyone. Like, I mean, he's called out females. He's called out, you know what I mean? Like, what, you actually believe the shit that comes out of his mouth? Nah, don't worry about him.
Thanks, man.
I'll squash the little germ. Thank you.
We're gonna go another one? Yeah, just.
Go on, eh? I'm gonna butcher this now.
Get in there, Frankie.
Hey, I'm not a spitter. I don't spit.
Nah. It's a love and not a fun.
This is what we have: Ricardo,
Yeah.
Bam Bam,
Yeah, the boys.
all of that perfect
And the
little
peppers
cities.
is
Gonna
one.
put on us some
In a ball. Hey.
You know, I'm gonna make this.
In your hole. In a ball. That's a holy grail. That's the holy grail.
Hey. Best. See that? Not a drop outside. Is that mine? And still, baby! What I fucking tell you! Woo! Man, I swear a lot on the piss. We good? Alex.
Hey, Alex. You rock the
Put this way. You got back to do, but I reckon I look better than him. I'm not saying I'm not good, but he looked pretty bad, so I'm going to take it. Are we good? That's it? Thank you. Appreciate it.
Nah, they just fucking with it. Seriously. We don't have to laugh. You're going to tell you
There was a few. They done a good job.
You got the belt back? They don't know.
They got the European connection.
Yeah. I got you.